Nerd Lag Game Club. Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast, the podcast where we play games instead of reading books. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by three party members today. Lauren.
Hello.
Hi, Lauren. Tonsa.
What's up?
And Dan Boy.
Hello.
In this episode of the Game Club, we're becoming rock stars and beating down some robots in Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was released on January 25th, 2023, and was developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda Software, or Softworks, I guess. Tango Gameworks have made some other big-named games, actually, with The Evil Within 1 and 2, and Ghostwire Tokyo. This is our newest game on the podcast, so that's kind of cool. Good job, guys. Doing something more modern today.
Yeah.
And before we get any further into Hi-Fi Rush, I want to give the spoiler warning, and I would recommend playing this before listening to the episode. This was our game for the month of February, and I'm going to give a brief summary of the story for Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush starts with our main character, known as Chai, as he goes to Armstrong Development or Industries?
Yeah, something like that.
To get his arm, changed from a normal, non-working human arm into a robot arm. And he ends up becoming a defect where a music player accidentally falls and gets morphed into his heart like he's Iron Man or something. And after that, he is a defect, and they do not accept defects, so the whole Armstrong Industries is trying to get rid of him. And then we get into some shenanigans and meet some other characters along the way, but I don't really want to get too much into it here. We can talk about it a little bit later. Anything on the short end you guys want to add?
I guess if we're going to get into it, we'll talk about the structure of how, Armstrong Industries run, yeah.
Okay.
That would be the big part of it.
So each episode, we break up the main points of the game we're playing, and this week, we are going to... It's not a week, it's an episode. I'm all jacked up today.
I thought I was bad because I'm tired, and you guys are all fucking...
We're all messed up. In this episode, we're starting with gameplay and mechanics. So, Tonsa, how about you tell us about the gameplay and mechanics for Hi-Fi Rush?
It's like an action beat-em-up, platformer, I would more or less describe it. You do your typical... I would say it does everything your typical beat-em-up, Devil May Cry-esque game would do, but everything's done to, a beat. And the better you are to the beat, the more combo points. And I thought it did more damage, but I don't believe it did.
It did.
I don't know. It doesn't seem
I don't
like
think
it
so.
sometimes.
Changing combos did not do any damage.
It definitely said in the game if you do it on the beat, you do more damage.
Yeah, but I was also thinking changing combos. If you did X X Y Y, it didn't change if you did X Y X Y. Damage was, at least for me.
Yeah, it didn't seem like
a bigger AOE.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like it, but it probably did, and you just didn't really notice it.
But other than that, then you equipped companions that can be used in battle to target specific enemies. And then you also use them when you're traversing the platforming and puzzle solving of this game. The main caveat is it comes down to being music based. Certain enemies you'll fight can be the way you actually defeat them is in a... What is it? I don't want to say good. They attack, you have to parry to a specific beat. One's da 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 da, and you'd have to hit B to that beat.
Everything is easier if you're able to time it to the beat of the environment.
Do you have any music talent?
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't necessarily need to use the beat because you can kind of use visual cues as well. But if you are good at just listening or watching, I guess, you can time everything perfectly with no issues. I can't hear beats, So I used the more visual cues when I was playing. Yeah, you even move to the beat. Like when you dash,
Yeah, everything.
it's better
Everything's
to
done
dash
to the
the
beat.
beat.
Your footsteps are done to the beat. If you just sit still, it's done to the beat. Everything in this game was done to like a beat.
Yeah, even the environment. Like the things in the
Yeah.
environment move to the beat. That's a huge portion of the gameplay, and outside of that, it feels kind of like
Normal.
well, it's like a platformer. It kind of has like that Banjo-Kazooie kind of vibes, where like you're collecting different things along the way, like gears and upgrades, and you can jump into like areas that you don't actually have to go to. Does quite a bit of hand holding in the aspect of like showing you where to go.
But yeah, it's very linear.
So it's not really open world. It's kind of like point A to point B, and there's some minor deviations that you can find stuff in. But for the most part, you're just going from start to finish. Is there anything else you guys want to add with gameplay or mechanics? Lauren, Dan?
No, I think Tonsa covered it all.
All right, well, let's move into art design, one of the strongest factors of this game. And Lauren is going to tell us all about the art for Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay, so the art style, like Corey said, it's like a huge focus in this game. It's bright, colorful, comic book look to it is kind of the way I would describe it. I was a huge fan of the art. I think it looked really good, better than I expected, honestly. The team that made the game is the team from The Evil Within. So from what I read, basically they split the team after the game was done, where some people worked on Ghostwire, some people worked on other stuff, and part of the team worked on this game, which is interesting. The concept art came from a person named, and I might butcher this, Keita Sakai. They were also a concept artist for The Evil Within. They worked on Sakura Wars, the movie, Wonderful 101 game, some other stuff, but they were the lead concept artist for this one. There was more people listed in the credits, but with bigger game studios, it's a lot harder to find like what they did. The goal when they were doing the art was to make it look like the first level concept art that was actually made. So they told the team basically, when in doubt, look back at that art. They said they knew they nailed it when someone working on the Ghostwire team actually came over and said like, hey, this is some cool concept art. And they got to be like, no, this is the game. So cool in that aspect that they nailed it from an outside perspective. It's cool that the person that was the lead concept artist, that's what the whole game was based on art-wise, was that person's work. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the only other info I really have on this is a studio called Lemon Sky Studio did the CGI, more of the animation, like cutscenes, all that stuff, from what I read anyways. They're one of the top in the industry out of Malaysia for games for that kind of stuff. They also did work on games like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which, if you know me, I praise that game super highly. It's the reason I bought my PS5. It looks fantastic. They did Demon Souls, Spider-Man, Bloodborne, WoW, like SAO, Hollow Realization. It's a big game for me too. Final Fantasy 15, tons and tons of other stuff. If you look on their website, their portfolio is kind of nuts, honestly. I never even heard of the studio till today, but they do a good job.
Yeah, I think the cutscenes were one of the most standout parts.
Yeah,
I agree.
That stood out to me a lot. They reminded me of like a Saturday morning cartoon in a way. Like something you would see on TV like as a kid.
Yeah, I would watch it as a cartoon or even an anime. Like the ending of the game too. Like I was like, this would be a great outro, like scene and music. It was good.
Yeah,
the art's a heavy carry.
Yeah, the art carried a lot of this. It's the first thing I really noticed. That and the music, some of the music. I'm not as high up as a lot of people I've seen online about the music, but I do like a good portion of it. But I think art is what sold this for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I've never been like a full on like music person. Like soundtracks never been like my thing for like games and like movie backgrounds. But like anytime they synced up those animations with the music, I felt it was really good.
And I seen, I guess they said when they made the art, they told them to create it without the UI. Told them to do that last because they thought it would be distracting. That's why they added the cat like orb. Is because they were trying to find a way to let you see the beat if you couldn't have the UI there. That's the reason that
makes
cat
sense.
is actually there.
I think the cat helps tie in the story a bit too.
I
Yeah.
also like that they did Evil Within, which is a gross, nasty game, and then to this, which is the complete opposite.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I was thinking the same thing when I seen that they did Evil Within. I was like, that is completely different.
Oh yeah.
But since we kind of dabbled in the music a little bit, and this game has really good music to open up with. Was it like the Black Keys or the Lonely Keys?
Black Keys.
The Black Keys. Lonely Boy is the song. That's what it opens up with. I thought that was really cool. I don't know what it costs them to get some of the music that they have in this game, but Dan is going to tell us all about sound design and music for it. So, Dan, what do you got for Hi-Fi Rush?
So this isn't really like music oriented. Never mind. We'll say that for later. Never mind.
What does that mean?
I was like,
never
what?
mind. Never mind.
Come back to that.
Never mind. Forget that. Anyways, yeah, the game is kind of all based around music, so it's like the music is kind of the biggest point, really, of the game. It's interesting because they kind of have a streamer mode, like in the game, for people to be able to like stream it on like Twitch and stuff. But because of the music in it, people would obviously get like copyright strikes and stuff. So they put in a streamer mode for people to be able to stream it without getting those strikes, which is kind of nice to see. And, you know, a game that focuses on music, you kind of need the music, you know? I just kind of thought that was a cool kind of accessibility feature in it. But anyways, there's 3 main like composers for the game, and I'm gonna butcher their names, just saying. The one composer is Shuichi Kobori, which he is. I have these all messed up in my files. He was the main composer for like the Evil Within 2, Evil Within, maybe not Evil Within. No, not Evil Within 2. He was the audio director for Evil Within 1. He was the composer for a bunch of Metal Gear games, like Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater 3D, Metal Gear Acid, whatever that is. Just kind of those type of games. Yeah, we also got good old, I think this guy was kind of like the main composer, Masatoshi Yanagi, and he's kind of in the same exact boat where he's just like composer for this game, Ghostwire Tokyo, Evil Within 2. And then he also sound designer for Evil Within 1. And then the other composer is Ryo Uratani. And he was a composer for a bunch of Monster Hunter games, which is interesting. And also the composer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. As you kind of move around the world, there's just going to be a bunch of different sounds that your character kind of makes. Whenever you hit enemies, they have like a specific sound that kind of goes with the beat. You have your... I want to call it like a hook shot.
Grapple?
Like you kind of, your grapple kind of button. Whenever you do that, it kind of makes like a hi-hat sound constantly. Kind of nice to hear, especially whenever you time it like just right. Then it plays a sound, and it's It's kind of thrilling to hear. It's like a boost of like serotonin every time you hear it. It's like, yeah, the hi-hat, let's go.
One sound I've really liked is when you play with like 808 and it makes this like tink sound. Tink,
Yeah.
tink. I like that too.
Yeah, a lot of sound effects, a lot of different music beats. Like I said, there's some music from not the composers. Like you open up with like a big mainstream hit, and
Yeah, you have
there's one
music
towards
from
the end. That I don't
Yeah, there's a
think is
couple.
them.
I mean, there's Nine Inch Nails.
yeah.
They use like Wolfgang's Fifth Symphony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a modified version of it. It's pretty cool.
Yup.
Yeah, it's the hard part about music. Talking about music in this game, it's legit the whole game. It's
Yup. Every second there's music playing.
and everything's tied to music.
I towards the end of the game, I think I was on like level like 11. I had to turn down like the sound effects and the voice acting just to listen to the music, because it made me like be able to focus on like hitting perfect like timed once everything else was like lowered.
That makes sense because there's like a lot of other distractions going on.
Yeah,
said-
like your constant like dialogue that kind of pops up quite frequently.
Yeah, I didn't really use the audio cues when I was playing. Like I said, I started using visual aids. Just watching, because they throw those in too. Like certain enemies will glow before they're about to do attacks, so you can like time your parries. And when
then-
you do those like combo things for certain enemies, you can
Yeah,
just
the music
watch the
notes.
motion of their
Oh.
like of them instead of listening to the beat. So that's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
And then also, if you hit it perfect on time, you have like your sound cues, and then you also get like the music notes. And then it keeps adding like another, oh gosh, what is it considered? I think like a quarter note, I think, for like every time you like hit successfully in a combo, it like keeps adding one to it.
Yeah,
And then you also got your accessibility options, which the one will put in like a little time rack basically, where it's like it will kind of show you where the beat is constantly.
yeah, you can
Like the
also,
one that moves across the screen.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
the
think
Yeah,
that
it
was
should be
just
at,
like
like, the
I think that
bottom.
was just like a toggle. I think it was like right stick on like controller. You know, because I would actually
You're
hit it and be like, "Why is this up now?" And I'm like, "Why?"
I
Okay.
always turned it on. Like I had it on during the whole game.
Never had it on.
I would notice when it was on, but I don't think I really used it.
But yeah,
Also-
there's times where that would be on the screen and I just wouldn't even be watching what I was fighting. I would just be looking at that.
Oh, yeah.
But all right, let's move into parts that made an impact. We kind of mentioned
Hey,
it.
wait, before you go through that, can we talk about the voice actors for a second?
That's kind of what I wanted to kind of touch base on, like at the beginning, but not really
Yeah,
like
because
music
like
related.
they actually got some pretty good people, like
What?
Erica Lindbeck, which she's a bigger name person. I didn't know who voiced Chai, but when I just looked it up, he's actually the guy that voices Megami from Jujutsu Kaisen. He's Gil Thunder in Seven Deadly Sins. Like, they got some people that are actually pretty big name to voice the characters, which is pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not that crazy considering like this is a pretty large budget game.
So yeah, well, it's
I
it's
get it.
Bethesda. I think one of the great things about this game that they did is no one knew it was coming. It just released.
For sure.
Well, Lauren said something about they basically told like everyone like they could not leak it.
Yeah, they had no intentions of announcing it until the day that they did. So they
Well, I
told
think-
them, like, hey, you're working on this game, but we are not announcing it until we release it. Like, that's it.
Is it weird that I feel like it was like a cover up for like? I feel like this came out as soon as like was it Starfall? What's the other Bethesda game that had like a leak they had a leak the same time that came out that like one of the GOG or one of the Humble Bundle or something released the like street date.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
It was like the same time period. I don't know if it was like obviously they probably just wanted the game to be fresh and just released.
Yeah, Dan, did you have it? What else did you have about voice acting, or did Lauren cover it?
Oh, I was just gonna bring up like some of the projects that some of the voice actors worked on. It is basically just gonna be the same things she kind of said, along with like the voice actor for Kale. He's in like everything. He's Mirage and good old Apex. He's Sonic the Hedgehog in some of the cartoons. He's Datara in Naruto Shippuden.
Oh shit!
I love Datara. He's interesting.
Yeah.
The voice acting was definitely a strong point in this game. Like, I don't think any of the characters mailed it home. Like, they actually put like passion behind it. They all sounded good.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't really think of it at all. Like everybody did a good job. Chai was the fucking dumbass. I don't know how else to put him.
Stereotypical like main character of an anime.
I think he's worse than main character. Like I was like, oh, he's dumb, like, you know, like every like anime protagonist. And I was like, he might be a little too dumb.
But he has like the bond of friendship. He's Naruto, man.
That was what it's what the whole story ended with. And I was like, damn. And at one point, he's like, Macaron says something that was like, oh, Chai, you really changed. He's like, yeah, whatever, man. I've only known you for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it makes you ending like, oh, what the fuck?
That's crazy that that whole game takes place in like 5 hours. Based on that dialogue.
Yeah, it's like it's like one day.
That's crazy. There's a lot that happens in one day.
It's not even like a whole day. It's like an afternoon.
Yeah. I guess we don't know when he went to go get that. Like, sir, he cut the line, so I'm assuming it's right when they opened. Probably like 8 a.m., 9.
Yeah, and then the concerts that night. And we're at that.
Well, then that would be... It'd be like 2 days. Because one, like, your guy... Well, we'll just talk... Wait, how do you want to do this? You just want to go through each boss? Or... Yeah,
that's fine. We can kind of explain how the game is set up first. And then you can go right into Rekka.
So it's a giant corporation. I'm trying to... give me a second to pull up their names. Oh, wait, that's an actual boss list. I want the... What are they called? Executives? Or
something like that.
Well, yeah,
Vandalay.
Vandalay, that was the company. So like your main boss guy is
the
Google thanks you for being the worst.
Yeah. The main...
Are you talking about Kale Vandalay?
Yeah, he's the main antagonist. Like the head honcho of Vanderlei, because of course he is.
Yeah, he like forces his mom out, takes over the company. Everybody thinks he's doing a great job. I was trying to see because all of them have positions.
Well, head of production is Rekka.
Yeah, research and development is Zonzo. Head of security was what's her name?
Corsica's head of security. Mimosa is the head of marketing.
Roquefort is like financial advisor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it just basically you go through each. You start off going through quality assurance building. Well, that's where you meet Rekka, and she is the first boss. And you have to get each of their keys to stop this brainwashing program that at one point is just like, I mean, I guess we don't know how many people it would have affected, but he is like the main one because he's the first one to do the experiment. Like, so he was for sure brainwashy. And maybe people after him, I'm not sure. But your whole thing is to get their flash drives to then turn off Spectra, which is a brainwashing program, and get the company back on track, basically.
Well, you know the the first one that he manipulated using Spectra is his mom.
Mhm.
So that's that she's like patient 0 of whatever that it like ends up being. But it's basically just like an AI program.
Yeah, just to make it's you want to talk about Naruto? It's the oh god, why is my brain just not firing on words?
It's not firing at all.
What is the giant plant? Oh my god, Madara's main mission.
Infinite Tsukuyomi.
Yeah, that's the plot of the game.
Killer Bee?
Actually, it's not, because his whole premise is to make more money by brainwashing people
To buy
spend more
their
money.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So never mind. Maybe it's not Naruto.
All right. So that sets up the plot. And because you are a defect and you are in production, your first boss fight is with Rekka.
Well,
you fight quality insurance bot like 1 million or whatever, giant robot guy.
yeah.
That's technically the first boss fight, which
It's a boss fight.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's where it leads in with like a 9 Inch Nails song, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and that
like your first taste of the game.
It's a good way of getting used to how boss fights work in the game, because it's pretty easy. You just basically get him to punch himself in the face
Over and over again.
Yeah. But
And then he self-destructs.
But basically, Jai is just trying to leave to start off. Like, he doesn't really want any part of this. He's like, I got my arm. He's like, I'm just trying to get out of here. And you run into 808, which is a cat, a robotic cat. And it kind of guides you through, like, the first level. And then you find out that the voice that 808 has is from Peppermint, which is like the mastermind behind taking the corporation down.
Yeah, you get roped into her plot. Like, you're just trying to leave, she's trying to stop. Like, she knows what they're up to.
Yeah, and she does like your upgrades early on. But yeah, let's talk about the Rekka fight.
Typical boss fight. She wears a WWE belt that has a boss written on it, and she just comes down and then tries to whoop your ass. And her stages are basically pretty simple. She charges at you, you dodge them, and then at one point she like powers up. If she catches you, she does like some wrestling moves.
She powers herself up by ripping the floor up and using electricity to charge herself, which kind of seems like a metaphor for drug use.
Yeah.
And then at one point she starts taking like lead pipes and she like tries to hit you with those. But I feel like she's kind of designed like a wrestler.
She
like,
is.
Fully. She wants to do wrestling moves. She gives you these like over the top promos before you fight her. But she's pretty cool. She's a fun little boss fight. It's like your first real introduction to how taking down the executives work, which is kind of neat. And you get to hit her with your guitar.
You, in fact, hit them all with your guitar.
You do. That you somehow, you have like a magnetic stick that builds, it takes up like metal pieces and turns into like the shape of a guitar. And then when you go into those cutscenes, it turns into like a real guitar. It's a bit interesting. But overall, her boss fight's pretty simple. But I do like it.
I'm looking at it's like a boss list, and it's not showing. It just shows Rekka, Corsica, Mimosa, KO. And I'm like, well, I think next is Zanzo, and you just kind of run through, and you gotta make him rack up his use all his expense budget before you can actually fight him.
Yeah, and your goal is to basically like get him worked up where he uses all of his budget, and he's trying to do it to you while you're in VR.
Well, yeah, it's like augmented reality, and then like each machine you go into is like a different budget, and then he's like, throw more enemies, more lava, bigger volcano.
Yeah, and then he pops up at one point, and you're like, oh, that's all the bigger you're gonna be, or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I see how it is. And he's like, then the next time he shows up, he's like, is this big enough for you? And he's like this massive version of himself. And it like drains his budget by like $80,000. And I was like, wow, we goaded him into spending
and at
money
one
on
point,
nothing.
your actual fight with him is him using the rest of the budget to turn into a giant robot. And by the time he goes to power on, the budget's drained, so you just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So dumb.
It just shuts off. And it's like, defunded. I like that the bosses are all different. I think that's something they did well, is so it didn't feel like old. Like each boss fight has like its own like thing to it.
Yeah, I would say because like so you go from this one that was mainly just draining the budget and platforming and doing your like normal kind of stuff, fighting a lot of like normal enemies just to drain his budget. So then you go into Corsica's, which hers is like the pacifist run. Like you're just trying to talk her down.
Before we get there, before you get on the lift to get to the head of security, it is the best scene in the entire game.
Yeah. That's the CG where they all fight together.
Yeah, they all fight together and like they're substituting each other in. And like Chai's just kind of there like an idiot.
Yeah, and Peppermint's like fucking John Wick in it.
Yeah, and then
is that the one where you're in like the cafeteria?
No.
This is like the full-on cutscene thing, like where you're getting on the lift for the first time. Like that's like you have to dodge like the things where you're going on the rails or down the rails.
Yeah, it's like right before that. Like Macaroon shows up, which he's another one of your assist characters.
He's just like the Hulk.
Yeah, he just has like big, strong punches, but he's very like pacifist. He doesn't want to have to fight anybody. And he's like super smart. He's part of like the old crew. Like when Mom was in charge, he worked there, and he's like, oh, things have changed since she's left. And then he has a robot that he built named Cinnamon, which doesn't know how to not hurt people's feelings.
He's like a major psychology or something. And then he draws every emotion he tries to convey. Like if he's like trying to act shocked, he draws shocked.
On his face.
I love it.
Just in Sharpie.
Yeah, it's like
it's like done so bad. It's not like he just gives himself eyebrows either. He'll draw like the full like chin and everything.
I love it. Cinnamon's such a good character. You get that really good animation. That one, like I said, that's the best one in the whole game. And then you ride the lift, which is just a battle gauntlet. And then you work your way up the security tower, which is the most dragged out thing.
Yeah, it's just solving puzzles, and then you go up there, and it's very hard because I don't know how if we should just take it step by step of each level. Like we should have just did tracks instead of bosses, because a lot of them are the same. You're just doing like 3 or 4 things to then get into the boss fight.
Yeah,
but those things take like an hour.
Yeah, it's a lot of platforming. I know Lauren struggled a little bit in this part, and it's not even from anything difficult. It's from when you activate the nod things, and you have to hit the QuickTime events. I don't know why, but Lauren was telling me she was struggling with them.
My God, some of those nodes, I literally had to do the QuickTime event 15 times.
Oh, like the power, yeah.
Yeah, once you Peppermint shoots the node, you get to the top one, you hit it, and then those QuickTime buttons pop up that you have to hit. I failed those so many times, over and over. I was like, "What the freaking heck is wrong with me?"
They were pretty quick. I'll give you that one.
They would have different beats because the song would have a different beat depending upon which buttons you were hitting, and I'm like, oh my God, I suck. I suck so bad.
Yeah, those ones you have to look ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you line up rings for some of them, and then some of them you have to hold the button down and then let go of it at the right time. So I could see you messing them up, but it is kind of funny that that's what you found most challenging.
Yeah, it was. I suck at QuickTime events.
And this all leads up to having your pacifist run with her, where you have to just parry and dodge her forever.
Yup.
Listen, the idea behind it is very good, though.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone else is like, you gotta fight them, and they're like, no, like, she memorized her password. We have to, get her to cooperate. So you just parry and defend yourself. And I thought the idea was cool, but it was tedious having to do it for so long. And I suck at parrying.
I kind of just feel like that's the game. I think everything is great fundamentally, just just weird.
Yeah, this boss fight made me so angry because you get her health pretty low, and then Chai sets her off again, and her health comes like all the way back, and I'm like,
everything has like 3 phases. Like everything you do in the game has like 3. Like if you need to do puzzles, you need to do the draining of the budget. You got to do like everything has like 3 phases.
Oh, and
even your platforming.
I don't know if you guys paid attention to this, but I sure as hell did. When, at the end of the game, when they put all the keys in, did you see what her password is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Password.
It's just password. So you go through that just for the word password.
You could have guessed it.
Yeah.
I also hate that like she's like works at this supreme like tech company, dreams of being there. Worst with tech.
Yeah, it made me laugh. I was like, wow.
So you get her, you kind of like talk her into your side. You're gonna go. I think at that point you're gonna go confront Kale with her, and then he comes to you, knocks you off the rail thing. 'Cause you go to like it's the only exit from her.
The security tower.
Security tower is down the rail again. He chases you. He knocks you guys off. You sacrifice your life, save her. She's now indebted to you guys because you guys saved her life by like she gets basically almost the same implant as you, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's like a replacement for like her heart or something.
Yeah, because you guys get launched off this thing by a giant robot, and he's like you're you're fired. Shoots a laser beam. He's like, she's the flamethrower.
Yeah, 'cause he's such an idiot.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny beats to the game. Like comedic timing with like how like things play out, and then I think next is Mimosa, right?
Yep, and you have to go through the back of the museum to get to backstage of like the big stage, like that she's going to perform a concert on, and she's really enamored with herself.
Yeah,
she thinks she's like she thinks she's like top shit. Her shit don't stink.
Yeah, I also guess this is a good point to bring up. Like, this is where you find out Peppermint is Kale's sister and like the Vandercorp or Vandelay founder's daughter.
Right, and she ran away instead of like trying to do what she thought was right, which is why we're in the situation we're in now.
Yep.
And Chai, being smooth guy Chai, he goes, he's like, what do you think? This is going to make us not be friends or something?
You know, that like, 5 hours they deep cuts.
It's like, I like this. I was like, he's helping, but he doesn't even realize.
There's only like 4 parts in the whole game where you're like, man, he might have a brain.
Yeah. But going backstage, I mean, there's not a whole lot. You get the new mechanic of like turning on generators.
Yeah, you get Corsica's ability.
Right, and she could turn them on, which will cause like platforms to come out of the ground or like off to the side of the wall or whatever. And that just helps you move along. It's just another little thing. That's about it. I mean, you kind of get like a brief history of the company as well as you're going through the museum.
You see all the like stages of the robots and what they designed them for.
Yeah, but outside of that, it's not a whole lot. And then once you get to the stage, you're gonna sneak up on her backstage, but she's not there.
Oh, can we mention the shark suit?
Yeah, that's what we're about to go into. Go ahead, Dan.
Dude, so you get to her dressing room, and she's not there. And then the robots outside of the waiting room are like, "Oh, where's Left Shark at?" And then you notice on the clothes rack, there's a shark costume, and so you put it on, and it take you to the stage to be Left Shark, like the good old meme, you know.
Wasn't that Katy Perry?
I didn't even.
Like I don't think she was. I think wasn't it like a Super Bowl or something?
Yeah, it was Super Bowl, but I don't think it was.
Now I'm old. I don't know the memes.
Yeah,
this has been
Left Shark at the one halftime show. There was a Left Shark and a Right Shark. There was a shark on both sides of whoever the hell it was.
It was Katy Perry. I just
was it
looked it
Katy
up.
Perry? Okay. Anyways, but yeah, the Left Shark. I think it was the Left Shark. Everyone made memes about because it was.
They went hard.
They looked like they didn't really know what they were really doing there.
That's
it was also from 2015.
Why am I an old man?
You would see you at one point you probably couldn't escape it. You just wiped it from your brain.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyways,
well, go ahead. Explain our boss fight with Mimosa and how we get there.
You side scroll as Left Shark under the stage to then be launched out and confront her, and she's like, "Left Shark, you're not supposed to be here yet," or whatever she says, or "You're late," or whatever. Then you're like, "Aha!" and that's where you reveal yourself, and then she's like, "I knew it."
And then
it's really weird.
And then she's like, "You're not." She's like, "You're not gonna mess up the show for me. We're gonna use you." And then that's when you fight her in like a performance, and it's pretty weird.
Not a bad boss battle, but weird.
No, I like it. I just like that, like the robot like musicians are just in the back. like, all right, I don't know what's going on.
So you beat her ass. I still while we're here, I can't figure out. Do we kill these people for this flash drive? Like they like just disappear.
I think only one of them that I know of is dead, and we haven't gotten to him yet.
No. Wait, what?
None of them?
Oh, never mind.
Are they all dead?
I'm pretty sure Mimosa is dead. At least Mimosa, because you
think there's a couple of them.
You like hit her up into the sky, and then her suit explodes.
Yeah, and it's fireworks for the show, right?
Yeah. So it's like if she survived an explosion, like good for her. But I don't think she did because she didn't come down. Just the little drive.
The human resistance is pretty high in this game. Chai goes through a lot of shit.
True, and then they can rebuild them.
At one point, Chai gets shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, look at Cinema.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I don't know. But
actually, all right, so right after that, you go through all this extra stuff. You launch Chai the cannon. You go to the financial bureau, or financial department, and you do a bunch of side platforming shit like normal. And then you fight...
you fight Tonsa's favorite character, the chef samurai.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah. Yeah, you fight a robot that has two jobs. Not only is he as a samurai to protect, he's also a chef.
That part is so weird because you're just fighting. You're having like a cafeteria brawl.
Yeah, they're also just every time So every time you beat these enemies, the way you actually have to defeat them is to block or parry to like their specific beats, and it triggers like a mini cutscene. His is always like he slams his sword down and does like the whole like a samurai like talking to somebody every time. And it's like that time is like I can't remember because he has like a ladle and whatever in his hand. So goofy.
Yeah, Lauren said that she tried to skip those, which you can do. It just takes the fights a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I skipped them using Corsica's ability because I hated parrying.
Yeah, I think it just takes longer if you don't like you just have to go for like a 2 or 3 phase like fight with them.
Yeah.
And then after that you go and fight
you destroy the big statue of Kale first.
Oh, yeah, it's like right on the way to the financial office, which I feel like that should have felt more powerful. You kind of do it, and you're like, oh, it's a bridge now.
It's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, it wasn't like you needed to take it out to get to your path, but like no one like batted an eye and was like, fuck that guy or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there wasn't any comments about it. But then you get to the financial office with Rogueford. Is that his name?
Yeah, it's ROQUEFORT. Is it Rogueford? Report?
It's a G, not a Q.
Read his website. Is it?
It is a G. Like rogue as in like...
Well, they have a fucking Q here.
Are you sure
This is
it's not
also
a
the
G
same-
and you don't know how to read?
No,
No.
in the screenshots from Steam itself, it's a Q.
It is a Q?
It
So
is.
it's Rogueford?
Yes. Yes.
That makes a little more sense. He's like British, right?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But he transforms into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Probably one of the easiest boss fights because there
I
wasn't like
love
a
died
this
twice.
fight.
This
You
is the only
died?
boss. Yeah, twice. It was the only boss battle I died twice to.
How?
Because it's so fucking hard, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
only-
it is.
Nah, I didn't have any issues with this one.
He literally is a werewolf. You
I
beat
had
the shit
most
out
difficult
of
with
him.
Corsica,
Yeah, me too.
and I think it's partly my controller.
Mine is just because I suck at timing the things.
All right, yeah, you fight him as giant werewolf. You hit him with a bunch of combos.
And then
You
he
break.
goes back into being like a human, and he runs
Kick
from
the
you.
Very
And I
slow.
love it. It makes me laugh because he just
Yeah.
like he goes back into being human and then he's like, oh shit, and then he like runs away like
Yeah, he walks away and he gets to the other side and he calls upon lasers and then you just like left, okay, and then you go over there beat the shit out of them.
So that's like the first health bar, and then he's like, oh, we should take this somewhere different. And then you fight him again in the same fashion. And then you end up in like the vault. Like with all the gold. And you're like, you fight him a third time. And then the third time around, he's like, oh, every time you beat me, I only come back stronger. And in that moment, the money they made for that quarter or day
It's quarter.
comes trickling down, which is in solid gold for some reason. And it crushes him. He's fucking dead.
Yeah, I don't know how his flash drive got out, but it did.
Yeah, he's dead.
I'm pretty sure they're all dead. Yeah.
Like, that is... that gold is not light, and that was a bunch of it.
He also like big bag wolf shoe. Like he's like, you're only making like I only get stronger as the more angry I get, and it's like, all right, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna keep kicking the shit out of you. I also do like that you do the Guitar Hero stuff here,
Oh yeah, that was really good.
where they're just like riffs, and you have to hit the buttons when they hit. You know, like when they
I kind of
show
wish
up.
that was like most of the game. Like I wish like you could put it as your special attack, whatever the gauge attacks.
Yeah.
You can put those as that, but it was nice to be implemented in the boss fights. I kind of wish they all were like that. Like, or at least at some point you had like a point where like you
But-
teamed up and did it.
But we finally take him out after he gets crushed by gold, and he's dead for sure. And then you have one key left to get. And this is probably my favorite like lead up to a boss fight, just because it's like a combination of like everyone coming together and getting their time to shine. It's so
It's
good.
also short.
It's
Like
also-
from that point to the next point's like it's like very fast. It's not drawn out at all.
Yeah, and the music they play, super good.
Yeah, it's the song that Lonely Island sampled for YOLO.
Oh god.
A random fact, but okay. It's
You're
really
welcome.
good.
I picture it now.
That's what I thought was about to play at first. when I
Wouldn't that
heard
have been
it. I was like,
YOLO?
no chance.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
It would kill the mood for me for sure.
I would have laughed. But, like,
Yeah,
no
I think it would have been
chance.
funny at first, like if you just come in like that, And it's just Andy Samberg. And then, like, if it would have continued to go, I'd been like,
Oh man, that'd have been great. Now I should play that part and just mute it and then play like start it at the same time.
Yeah.
Just see what happens. But at the end of that one, you finally get a chance to see Cinnamon in action. And I know Lauren really likes this part.
And you got to play as him for a good, 20 seconds.
Yeah, with his giant arm. It's amazing.
His Mario jumping.
Yeah. But basically, Kale attacks you with this massive robot. And you work as a team to cut off one of his arms, which is like his laser cannon arm. And it falls to the ground, and then Cinnamon jumps into action. He's like, I got this. And then you get to play with Cinnamon for, like you said, 20 seconds. And he's compatible with it somehow. So he's able to use the big, cannon arm, but he's not able to lift it. So then the team comes together one last time to destroy this robot using this massive arm cannon. And then Cinnamon loses his legs.
Yep.
Well, I love that while he's shooting it and it starts powering up, he's sitting there drawing a mean face on him.
Yeah, a determined face.
Yeah.
So dumb.
But then you destroy the robot. Cinnamon has no legs, and Macaroon
missing an arm.
He's missing an arm, and Macaroon comes over and he's like, "Oh, you're good. I can fix you up, buddy." And I was like, "Oh,
he's like, I'll get you later."
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, and at this part, this is where it's very anime trope-ish, friendship montage.
Well, we're you're about to do the whole quick time events to get out of that I don't know what that is.
Cage thing.
Lauren, did you love that? Where he goes through every single dialogue that someone says to him?
Yeah.
The best is his
I did actually like that.
Because Cinnamon's response to him is man, he liked my pants.
And then he's like, "Oh, good enough."
Yeah, all right, good enough.
Yeah, I thought that scene was really good.
I could be wrong in everything, but I'm pretty sure that was before the whole giant robot thing. Because isn't Cinnamon with you whenever you're locked in the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're on the outside,
Yeah.
and you guys all jump out the window, and they're
right.
let's work together. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, well, either way. That's where you find the big reveal that, he's controlling his mom using Spectra. And that's the only reason he's in charge, and what his real goal is about just making money. He doesn't give a shit about anything else.
Yeah, they're like, why are you brainwashing people? He's like, so make more money. And they're like, whoa!
Oh, no way! But yeah, then we finally catch up to...
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, I think it's after, or during that part you play as 808. I think it might be after that.
It's after.
After, because we meet up with Kale and he activates Spectra on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Chai. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so we're kind of useless, and then 808's like, "Oh, I'm not caught, trapped in whatever they're trapped in that time. You get to play as the cat, and you get to scratch him."
Yeah. To mess him up as a cat.
Yeah, that gives us a whole nother star if you were rating it, just because you could play as a cat.
Yeah, 808's my wallpaper on my phone currently.
You could play with the cat on the couch as well.
Yeah, I did that. It tells you, at least on Game Pass, it will tell you how many times you talk to the cat or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Cause you gotta show who's a better person.
And then
you only did
That's
one.
Literally an achievement. It's yes, you can pet the cat.
Just made me think of that Twitter. That's only
yeah.
If I know anything about where we're at in video games, is cats sell games.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
But
and the animals.
After that, after 808 attacks Kale, it breaks our brainwash on us, and we get to fight Kale in a 3-stage boss fight. and it is what it is.
It's pretty simple.
I didn't really like this one.
Yep, very simple. Yep.
I only died in his oct form because I had no health, and apparently I wasn't getting close enough with Macaroon because I couldn't figure out how to destroy the front two octopus arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that I beat him, and then that was pretty much it. It's such an easy boss fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dan, how many times you died of this?
1.
Oh, okay.
I got an S rank on this mission. Thank you very much.
On this chapter?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I'm pretty sure the chapter was literally just the boss fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's good though.
And then after the boss fight, we kill Kale, or whatever you do to people in this game.
I think you murder him, and no one
Well,
brings
he
it up.
explodes, but I don't know what explosions mean nowadays.
Yeah, in this game, I don't know what anything means. You get this arm by getting pressed into a machine, so I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't suited for. It was just a bunch of lights.
Yeah, I have no idea how anything works in this world, but you take him out, and then you activate all 6 of the flash drives, or 5 flash drives, and password, and you turn off Spectra, and then that's it.
And the real lady comes out, where I'm like, where have you been this whole time?
She was just kicking it.
Yeah.
True, I guess.
And she basically just reinstates everyone, and then she offers you a job. And then you're like,
Being a rock star, and then he doesn't know how to play guitar.
But he's starting to learn.
He's starting to
Yeah.
learn. Right. I mean, I guess he is a good face of whatever they would need.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. That is the game of Hi-Fi Rush.
Well, and then you got the end game stuff.
We don't
Yeah,
talk
go
about
back
that.
through.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that annoys me.
Which it's after the credits, they're at the hideout, and then Peppermint's there's still Spectra readings popping up everywhere.
There are these
Just
doors that you can
oh.
find in levels that you've already found, but we pushed them off during the game, and now you can go back and go through them for whatever reason.
Yup. And
We
then I
didn't get-
guess if you do all of them, then you get a secret boss fight at the end.
Did
But
you do
I
them?
didn't do it. No.
Dan, I know you
Hadn't
love
do
this
it.
game. You loved it.
Yep. Loved it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else? What upgrades did you guys use? What type of chips and what your special attacks did you guys use?
So I'll be honest, I didn't buy a single thing. I didn't buy any attacks, I didn't buy any special attacks. I upgraded my health, and then I don't know what the other option really was, in those kind of items.
Amp meter.
Yeah, sure, maybe that's what it was.
And
That's
your
for
chip
special
sets.
attacks. And how many chips you can have,
I
how many
don't know.
special attacks you can have equipped at once.
Because it's the first one was a health gauge, you would buy it and then it would increase your health. Then there was something below that one which increased something
Amps.
else too, but I don't remember.
Your special gauge.
Was it the special gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's about all I bought. And then I bought one chip, and then I think it was for health regeneration, odds of finding them. And that was it. That's all I bought. Because
Yeah.
I just walked through the levels. I didn't try to get any of the gears. Because I fucking hated it.
I special attack I used just the healing one. I didn't use any attacking.
There was a
special
healing
attack.
one?
Yeah, you would drink an energy drink and give you health or something.
Oh, my God.
So it was nice to
Oh.
have, so that if your health got low, you could drink and just get more back. And then you double it
Yeah,
up with the
nice.
chip that gives you plus 30% health when you pick up health. So I could get a full thing of health just for using that special.
Yeah, that's why that fucking special thing I bought never worked. Because you had to get a extra gauge of health, and if you ever died, it would reset your health.
Oh,
I
the
could
health
never.
tank.
I never could fill it up.
Yeah.
That bitch stayed at like 2% the whole game.
But yeah, that's what I used. I didn't really change. Like, I bought like some of the basic attack combos, but the special attacks I didn't really mess with.
I didn't really do too many of the special attacks. I just had the chips were just I could call Peppermint faster, and like her thing just hers just AOE like stun. That was it.
Yeah. What about you, Lauren?
I got level 2 of the health one, so that took up 2 slots. Calling in or like recharging Peppermint faster. Macaroons, the distance like his attack would hit.
Oh, that would have been helpful.
That and there was one other one, but I don't remember what it was. I had all of the like chip slots that you could have. I upgraded all that. For my special attack, I used the power rift, like whatever one you get pretty early, and then I switched to the one where you and Corsica like basically jump the person. You like button mash X and you hit them a whole bunch of times.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the one I used. And then regular attacks, I got quite a few of them, but I didn't really like.
I think I did all the
weird combos.
I did all the special attacks or the normal like combos for Chai except the parry one.
That makes sense because you probably didn't use the parry.
I didn't parry at all, except for Samurai Guy because I knew his pattern.
But yeah, that was. I think that's about it. Was there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nope.
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to complete this game?
Oh my god, I forgot that was the thing. Oh gosh.
I was at 9 hours and 36 minutes.
That's probably like 20 hours. Not really, it was a joke.
8 hours and 59 minutes.
Lauren?
7 hours and 29.
Same.
A speedrunner over here.
8 hours and 55 minutes.
I had the longest time in this game. All right, let's move into recommendation. Each episode, we go around and find out if we would recommend the game and why or why not. So starting with Dan, would you recommend this game and why or why not?
Oh man, kind of torn on it, to be honest with you. Like, I really like the story, I like the characters, I like the music, but gosh golly, I hate the gameplay. The gameplay just in general, I fucking hate. Like, if it was just like a normal like hack and slash type of game, I think I would like it so much better.
Same.
And it's like, it just, I hated it. So it's like, I don't know, if you can get past that, you'd probably enjoy it. Like, the story and stuff kind of made up for it, but gosh, it was still like a burden to try to play this game.
That's actually better than I thought you were going to be about it.
Yeah.
Based on like that little bit that I was in your room while you were playing, and you looked like you absolutely just wanted to turn it off.
I did, man, so many times.
What about you, Lauren? Would you recommend the game?
I feel like I'm alone in this, but absolutely. I liked it so much. I like the art, I like the music, I like the like hack and slash combat of it, even to the beat. I liked all of it, honestly. I liked it a lot. It's a definite yes for me.
Okay, so I feel like my whole thing is it's so repetitive with it. It's just constant in, like, you would walk up to the enemies and then you'd go into like your little area to like fight them, and then you would fight them, you'd kill them. Usually some of them would have like their stupid shield, which you'd have to use peppermint, or they'd have the stupid big rock shields, which you'd have to use macaron, and then just I hated it.
Dan, you don't play a lot of action RPGs, do you?
I hated it.
The only thing I think could have been done better on my end anyways, for like me personally, is I was telling Corey, I do wish that you didn't go into an area and then fight. I wish the enemies were all around, like your typical like hack and slash action RPG, where if you're going into a dungeon like labyrinth type of thing, enemies are everywhere. You can blow past them if you want, or fight them. I think that would have been better. But besides
Same.
that, I don't have complaints.
That's my exact thoughts on the combat. What about you, Tonsa? Would you recommend this one?
So everything's like I agree with everything everybody's saying. So the game's $30 and it's on Game Pass. I recommend it for the story, but I will not play another game like this again. I've learned my lesson that me and music, like I can play like a Guitar Hero or a rhythm game, but games that add music or rhythm to like an action game or anything like Cadence of Hyrule and stuff are just not my thing. Personally, I'm like, yes, go ahead if you like music games. I think you're gonna love it. If you don't, maybe play it on Game Pass so you don't put money into it.
And I'm kind of in the middle. I don't care for the combat. I'm in the same camp with you, Tonsa. I don't think that action games to the beat are for me. I don't think it's done bad, though. I like the story. I really like the artwork. This game visually blew me away. And another thing and it's just me, so take this with a grain of salt. I do not like that people are hyping this game up way more than they should. It makes it's just me personally, when something gets that hyped, it makes me think that it's going to be perfect. And it's not. I agree with Lauren. Yeah, the hipster in me. I agree with Lauren, though. I think combat can be solved very easily by taking away the arena fights, unless they are like a boss or something important, and just have enemies roaming, and you can either fight them or you don't have to fight them. And if they change the combat just slightly, this game is 100% a recommendation for me. But
I think some of my big gripes was I felt like it should be faster.
I feel like it's just dragged out at points because you go in and out of those stupid arena fights.
Well, that and like there's weird things like just that I found like a bit tedious. Like switching to them to do your like animation stuff to like Macaroon to punch walls is fine till he has to sit there and like charge up. And I understand doing it to the beat, but it's like the extra, like I feel like I should just walk up to the wall, hit I think it was LT on the controller, and he should just go into that and I time it. Not I have to line up my analog stick with where it is on the like thing. There's just pet peeves, but it's good. I think the game, you could tell, is made with love though.
Yeah, so I would recommend it. I probably wouldn't buy this at full price. So either wait for a sale or play it on Game Pass. But I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it.
I think the art carries heavily.
That art blows me away. Like, I love the cutscenes. All right, so we usually do reviews, but this is kind of a long episode, so we'll go ahead and skip this for this episode. Plus, I don't really know what the reviews would even be for this.
Yes, like a lot of what you said. Like, people are kind of hyping it. Like, Game of the Year. My favorite right now is he's tall Scottish woman. Or tall Scottish lady. Recommends.
But, all right. So, Dan, you have the game for the month of March. So how about you tell everyone what we're playing and why you chose it?
All right. So we are going to be kind of going backwards here. We're going to be going to Cat Quest 2.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Did I buy that
Get the
game?
sequel.
Yeah, I figured, we haven't really done like a 1 and a 2 yet. And I don't know, doing a sequel might be fun. Might bring up
if it's anything like Cat Quest,
good convos,
I love the first game, so hopefully this one adds on to what I loved about the first one.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good one.
I 100%ed the first one, so we'll see.
You guys, I believe, is this one co-op?
I don't know if it's co-op, but I know for sure you do get like 2 characters to play.
All
as.
new
You can play as a
Switch
cat
and
or a
local
dog.
co-op play.
Okay,
You can play.
it's co-op.
Maybe
Pretty good
Lauren
couch
and I
co-op.
will play this together. We'll play some
Me
Cat
and
Quest with
Tonsa
me
can
and
play
Lauren.
it together. Let's go.
Just
Cat Quest
what,
with the boys.
were you gonna come
Yeah.
over, or I gotta go to your house?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna come home from work and Tunsa's just gonna be sitting out there with Dan. Oh, what's up, guys? But all right, so great. I had a lot of fun talking about Hi-Fi Rush on NLGC. But before we go, we wanted to share where you can find us online.
First, we have a YouTube channel called Nerdlag where we'll be uploading some great content. So make sure to subscribe for the latest videos. We have a Facebook page at Nerdlag Game Club. Make sure to like the page so you can get the latest news about the podcast. You can also find us over on Twitter at Nerdlag, where we share some of the latest gaming news and stuff we find interesting. And lastly, we have a Discord at Nerdlag where you can talk to us in voice chat and join in some discussion about everything nerdy like video games, anime, movies, and chat with like-minded people. If you'd like to join, ask for an invite. We also want to thank everyone that tuned in for this episode. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you share it with your friends. And also follow us on Spotify. It really helps.
On to the final credits. So at the end of each episode, we kind of just take a slow, chill ride on out of this episode. Just talking about anything we've been playing or any news we want to talk about or just anything in our daily lives. We'll probably try to keep this a bit short because the episode is long. But did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about?
Raft update.
Yeah, we gotta
No
start
raft
with it.
update.
No raft. No raft. I told you guys suck. Boo.
But we did buy and play through Sons of the Forest, which yikes.
I still don't know how to process that game.
Dude, I've seen so many people online talking about how much of a fucking disappointment that game is.
Yeah.
The gameplay and stuff is fine.
The gameplay and stuff is fine. There is no story to it at all. There's a story, but there's nothing.
I don't know what it is.
Nothing.
Dude, there's like a big lead up. We got into the final cave thing. We're like, oh, blah blah. Like spoilers, I guess. I know they're not gonna play it, but like you walk into this final cave and we're like, oh, like what's going on? And then it's like, oh, end game. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, ending cutscene. Okay.
And then
Who
my
are these
game
people.
And then we went through and got like the other ending, thinking it would maybe explain more. And then my game glitched out, so I had to run back alone.
Yeah. But yeah, don't recommend as of right now with it being in early access.
Sadness.
Yep.
It's fun. I mean, I enjoyed. It's still in early access, so they'll probably turn it around.
I enjoyed like just fucking around the entire time, but trying to do like story stuff and like progress through the game, didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like the first game is like super cryptic and weird, and I don't really know how.
It has
how
a story.
It does have a story.
This one, you just find emails about lost golf balls and golf clubs.
True.
Found like 3 emails just talking about, hey, where's the golf clubs and golf balls? And then later on, you find one that's like, hey, found all the golf balls and golf clubs.
And like they never set up
Yeah,
anything because you have like Virginia who's like running around, which is like a mutant, and you're like, cool, and like she's technically a part of the story. Like you get like a little trailer about her, but you know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a solid experience.
Yup.
I can't really say I've done much of anything since our last episode. I've knocked out some shitty GameCube games on stream, but that's about it.
I'm currently going through Atomic Heart. That's cool.
Yeah, that Dead Island game.
Yeah.
The more I played it, not Dead Island.
It just looks like it.
Yeah,
It's Dead
pretty
Island
fun
with
to play.
excessive cursing.
It's just fucking weird. And
It's
it's
like
very like corny.
Every other word is a curse word.
I don't know if you've seen when I ran into like the thing that upgrades, it's like a fridge that's trying to like once you inside it and it's super dirty.
That's so weird. I didn't see that part. I don't like that.
Oh, you should look it up. It's cringeworthy. It's weird.
I'll just see
Gameplay's
you
fun.
stream again.
No, you'll yeah. I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but you'll see it like it's just very random because she like flirts with you, like, well, sexually harasses you. Let's just say that.
Oh no.
It's very weird.
Lauren, what about you? Anything new?
Really. All I do is work, schoolwork.
Sleep.
That's about it. Sleep, eat some food. I don't live a very exciting life.
Yeah, well, no raft. Sons of the Forest is a bust. Atomic Heart is if you want to be sexually harassed by an object.
So far, okay. I'm only like 3 hours in.
Good closing sequence here. So, but we should have a little more to talk about for the next one.
Well, I mean, we could rant on about things. It's just
but
you said it's a long episode, so these are the
long. But those are like the highlights. So there's that. But yeah, so this is the end of the episode. Thanks for sticking with us. This is a longer one, but we actually played a new game this time around. But we're going to get ready to install Cat Quest 2 and get ready for the next episode. So thanks for listening, and we will see you guys soon.
Bye.
See ya.